underway for Friday night football. Here's the last. Zavala goes to Smith. Smith with options. Kicks across field. Tupou to fly. Oh, what a take, Cobbo. He'll go into touch, but he saved the try. Watson for Keddy. Penalty.
It's not you, Pat. It's on Reece.
Continue to apply the pressure.
They're all back over halfway. Don't hit the post, mate.
Oh, no.
Down the middle. Good boy.
No, he's kicked.
Tony, let's go. Tony.
Tony Staggs called out of it. And what a take! Walsh was underneath it. Billy Smith has taken it and scores the opening try. The Roosters. Wow, Billy Smith is in.
Leaps above him. Has a look. Up he goes. Hop, step and a jump. He could be at the Olympics, this boy.
Well, like you said, Gus, he sort of snuck down there, didn't he?
Hunt to Reynolds. Goes to Walsh. And Reece Walsh. Well, he was slipping.
Got him right on the ground. Moderate force on the court.
Wow.
Smith intercepts. Cobbo's got it. He's heading for the corner. Here come the chasers. Zavala chases, but Cobbo's in. You've got to say it's against the run of play, but Brisbane are on the board through Selwyn Cobbo. Plays it just short of halfway. Now Reynolds down the short side, held it up beautifully for Hunt. He's got support on his inside. Pakes into Walsh. He'll score under the post. And Brisbane go back to back.
In the last set, rushes out of the line. You've got direct contact, moderate force, same as the other one, on report.
Yeah, I think he rushed out of the line and he hit Victor Radley.
He's been
Got
hit
a
around
penalty against Angus for a forearm here on Adam Reynolds.
forearm to the
Time's off.
throat here of Adam Reynolds.
Well,
And he kicks it. Now Watson to Desco with a kick. It's a really good kick. Oh, Billy Smith didn't have much room to work with, but he did it really well to drag the ball in, plant it down. He gets his second and we're all locked up. That was beautiful. Now Zavala to Smith, to Desco, back to Billy Smith. There's Smiths everywhere.
Release now! All the way back.
And Smith will play it. Another set restart. Watson! Lovely pass. Crichton! The Roosters are in. They extend their lead. Hakes. Reynolds short to Haas. Haas to Walsh. Lovely ball afters. There's the try for Brisbane. Brilliant lead-up work, and Jesse Arthurs just can't stop scoring. Watson running onto a Butcher. Has he got there? He sure has. Bounces off the upright and scores a try for the Roosters. Well done, Nat Butcher. Well, what a win from the Roosters. They've come to Suncorp, turned around a 50-point loss in round one and knocked over the Broncos in stunning fashion.
Not a great night, Matt. It just didn't go to plan, but there was a few other factors outside the way your team performed tonight that probably are going to be talked about a bit.
Oh, I'm not going to go into that, mate. We didn't turn up physical enough to earn the right to get that one. We'll obviously have a look at reasons why and what we need to do, but I just felt that they were a bit more hungry than where we were at, and they were able to capitalise on the things that they did and we didn't. So we've got to take that forward into, like you can talk about whatever it might be that you're thinking about.
The Gajeski sin binning, which was 2 plays back and you didn't get a penalty, was a pretty significant turning point for you. Like they stopped the play and it doesn't make sense at all what's going on there.
Well, I think enough people have sort of spoken about that. I don't need to jump on that. Yeah, we needed a complete hire and we needed to be more physical. If we did those two things, then we're probably talking about a different game. But they turned up and had a bit more physicality than what we I know that's in the team. So we've got to look at ourselves.
You said before the game, mate, it was a real danger game. This one, that they obviously wanted to avenge round one, but where did you feel you lost it? Was it just the middle, the mind speed, or the energy? What do you think let yourselves down?
Well, as I just said there, Pete, the physicality of what they turned up compared to where we were. We've shown that we can do it. It's being able to find that, to be able to make sure that you can take. We went a bit sideways with the ball. We ended up going into touch. You got to earn the right to be able to get your plays on when you've got a team that's like you just spoke. So then your completions drop, and so the game cycle of just how the game cycles around. You put pressure on yourselves. We definitely put a lot of pressure on ourselves, but to the other team, they're chasing that too. So we need to handle moments in the games at a better level.
Do you feel sense any complacency, Madge, coming into it, considering what kind of dominant performance you had in round one?
No, mate, you can't be complacent. I mean, have a look at the games. Like any team at the moment. I mean, the Roosters, we got them in round one and they were 4-time premiers. So if you're thinking like that, you're kidding yourself, really. Disappointing.
Have you got a read on your side yet? Like some weeks you look like absolute world beaters, and then probably performances like this. There was the one in Canberra as well. Like where's the Broncos at?
Oh, look, I'm definitely getting a read on them, but that's obviously a harsh lesson tonight. We didn't play to where we wanted, and we've got to look at that and make sure that you turn up this week. That's what the game demands. It demands that you've got to turn up every week. They did that and we didn't.
Has this seemed to become confusing, Ren?
No, not really. As Madge said, we were poor, we were ill-disciplined, and we've got to be better.
A few times though, you were asking the referee just for an explanation, and also clearly that the players out there aren't understanding some of the interpretations at the moment.
We're just asking. We know the rules, we know what's acceptable, what's not, and we just weren't good enough tonight.
Have you ever seen a circumstance, Madge, where a player gets binned and there's no penalty for the other team?
No, I'm not even going to go into that, Pete. It is the way the game is at the moment. What's the point of talking about it? We didn't play to where we wanted to. That's more important to us. I mean, whatever the game is being played at the moment, I'm not going to change it. We're not going to change it. What we need to do is make sure we play what I know this team can. I've got a lot of belief in this team, a huge amount of belief in what I've seen and how they've gone about things, and we just didn't hit the mark today. And we've got to make sure that we learn how to do that week in, week out. Teams come at you. Every game's a different game, but we didn't handle this one the way we should have.
But they missed it. They're missing stuff, and then the bunker is getting way more involved. Like, surely, that's got to bring some frustration out. I don't
think I'm going to change it. Mate, what do you want me to do? I can't change that. But what we can do is make sure that we play the way I know they're capable of. And myself included, we'll look at how we went about things, and we missed the mark tonight. That's the disappointing part. Is that I'm really enjoying how these boys go about what they're doing. We missed the mark tonight, and the way we own that is how we're going to turn up, come training, and go through the game and take a lot from this one, because the game down the track might be something similar. Who knows what may be adjudicated, so we'll just deal with what we have to.
Adam, there's a bit of confusion on your part in terms of, we're talking high tackles, but you copped a look like a couple of stray elbows to the neck, at least, from Angus Crichton. Like, was that what you were talking to the referee about at half time, about whether that's a bidding or not?
I had two questions. I questioned what Jaden Hunt was in trouble for. I didn't hear it on the field and wanted to get an understanding of what that was about, and then just asked the question.
Do you think they were warranted a bidding? Like, you copped in the throat, that can be really dangerous.
I'm out there playing, I'm not judging that, so.
How's Jesse being off the field, that reshuffle?
He's okay. Obviously, they adjudicate from afar what they believe, and Jesse's actually okay. He was quite confused, I suppose, himself. But that's what the game is going through at the moment, and that's what we have to deal with. Thanks for
turnaround from round one. How proud are you of your players?
Yeah, I think we obviously missed the mark round one. I feel like we've been up to our eyeballs in every game since then. We've missed our mark at the end of the game, and we nailed it tonight. I think there's a real spirit in this team, and you could see that right from the start.
Did you play on round one much, like coming into it, to to kind of conjure that kind of performance and talk about it?
We didn't even mention round one. No, there was no mention of that. That's not, if you're looking for short-term motivation, we're trying to play really good footy, and so building on each week's key for us.
Line speed and midfield energy was great, wasn't it?
Yeah. There are some good questions. I've obviously got really good carriers of the ball there that you need to do a job on, and then on the back of that, Ted and the other guys have got a line org because they're going to ask questions on the edge, and I felt like the balance between our physicality on the tackle and then our organisation and answering their questions from their shifts was really good. I thought the Ds, as I said, I feel like we're for different combinations, like there's lots of guys that are standing next to each other for the first time, or for the first sort of 5 games it's quite new, and that connection that they're getting in that line's getting better and better.
What about Billy Smith, Robert?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, we just said he set the tone there for off that high ball catch and that grubber kick. They're things that can just sort of, you don't chase as hard, or you can not have the skill to get that ball down, and it's just the intensity that he trains with every day and prepares with, and gets rewards.
How pleased are you for him, Robbo? Because with all the injuries, he could have retired or walked away. How pleased are you with his resilience, his constitution?
Yeah, it's such a. Billy means a lot to us, at the club, and and it's. He's definitely fought through a lot, and we've lived that through with him, and so, I think it's the most I've seen Daniel Tupou smile coming off the ground talking about Billy. He doesn't usually smile about himself, but there's a joy in the players in the way that they've rallied around him, but also we get energy from him.
Hugo Savala, Robbo, his kicking game on point tonight, just the way he's kind of pinned the Broncos.
Yeah, he's a nice kicker. He's got a long kick. He showed that early, but then the ability to find space and the weight of the kick that finished the back end for us. That last sort of 15 minutes post Butcher's try, his ability our yardage sets were good. It's got live there. It got uncomfortable for both teams, and Hugo's kicking and then our kick chase and line speed on the back won us the game.
Teddy, when you mentioned like some of those guys, Nat Butcher, Hugo Savala, Billy Smith, like just guys, unheralded guys that have come up the trups for you tonight.
Yeah, those guys had big pre-seasons, and a guy like Billy, I'm so proud of him. He had a full pre-season the year before, didn't play a game last year for us. Another full pre-season now, he's starting to show. I really feel like if he stays healthy, he can be one of the best centres in the game. Nat, he's just consistent. He had a starting role. I thought he was one of our best through the middle. Our middle had a big task going up against Payne and Paddy Carrigan, the guys who get them forward and get them momentum for the team. But I thought our forward pack really did a great job on them. And Hugo, first game and half, just great kicking game. Put him in tough spots the whole 80 minutes. And he just played his game. Was awesome to see.
Well, there's been an incident apparently between Jonathan Thurston and Spencer Menu. Apparently Thurston was pretty rattled. He went to go and see you. Can you explain what's happening?
No, they just had a discussion on the sideline. I don't think the details are really clear yet, but it's just two passionate guys having a conversation about differences of opinion, I think.
Does it worry you with Lenu? I know he's a firebrand. You're happy to embrace the way he plays.
Definitely, yeah. Someone speaking their opinion, I think, is good in this game.
There was talk about it involving the incident last year in Vegas and things like that. This was obviously Spencer's first game coming up against the Broncos because he's missed the previous 2. Was he thinking about that? Has there been any indication that was an issue for him, that he still had grievances with it?
No, not that I know of. It wasn't mentioned at all. I thought he was outstanding tonight. I thought he played with intensity and control that he needed. And so no, I thought he was great there tonight. People are always going to have differences of opinion, and you can voice that. It's okay to say I don't agree with you, and both ends, both sides. So there's no harm done on either side. People aren't always going to agree, but that's life, isn't it? As long as people don't cross the line or say the wrong thing.
I don't think he has crossed the line from what happened. From what we've been told, sounds like a pretty fiery initially altercation.
Yeah, there's a discussion there, but from what I saw, there wasn't any crossing the line there. So Yeah.
Is the sideline the right place to do it, Rob, or is it probably should have been a conversation maybe somewhere else if Spencer's got that problem?
I don't know why Spencer, he didn't go and approach anybody, you know, so I don't know why you're trying to put it on Spence here.
That's just the
I know
comment to
you
JT
guys, but you guys are trying to put it on Spencer here. This is the way that the questions are coming, you know. You guys just got to be careful with the way that you guys are asking questions as well. You know, he didn't do. No, I don't think it's on anyone. I think it's a discussion between two men. I don't think that's the end of the world. So just, you know, cool your jets when it comes to accusations around somebody. You know, the way that you guys are questioning there, you've already formed an opinion. Two guys having a conversation, you know, it might get heated, but nothing wrong was said as far as I know, and it was about an incident, and that's okay for guys to have that conversation.
What about Robbo? Just the sin
Sure.
bins. It seemed to be confusing tonight. Like I don't think I've ever seen a retrospective sin bin where there's no penalty for you guys.
Yeah, we had. Yeah, that was. I didn't. I've got to ask about that because we had. It was a few tackles later. We had Celesi Fiketti in Penrith. I think we defended the set and then it went back, and then I think they got a try at the end of that to not get a penalty. I don't know. I don't know the rule, but I thought at least if it was a sin bin that they know where the spot is, that they could have gone back, but they may have a clear ruling on that as to why.
Do we need to clear that up, Robert? The sin bin crackdown?
I think clearing that up about if someone goes off, you think there should be a penalty. You know, what happens if that's at the end of a game and, you know, it's 12 all and they miss it and someone goes to the bin and time runs out, or if it's after the siren, you know, like it was okay tonight, but I mean, that could happen, you know? And so, yeah, I think I'd like some clarity around that. I don't have a huge opinion on, but I can think of scenarios where it could hurt the team that got the head high on them. So, yeah. Cool. Thank you.
Thanks, Robert.